Bay Area family, what's going on, you guys? Thank you guys for taking the time. I know you were scrolling, trying to find something very, very interesting and entertaining, but you came to the right place. Rudy Ortiz from Fresca and Rudy in the Morning on KBLX. I'm very, very happy that you guys stopped because I got a very special person here next to me who is a phenomenal musician, a native from the Bay Area, and he's got some brand new music coming out very soon that I want you guys to get familiar with so you know the man's name. Ladies and gentlemen, my buddy here to the right, Mr. Jairo Vargas. Jairo, what's going on, baby?
What's up, Rudy?
How you doing, brother? Glad you came in, man.
Thank
Glad
you
you
for
came in.
having
Now
me.
we've been rocking together for a long time, man. And you know I worked at the radio station. You've known this for a while.
Yep.
And you've heard me do a bunch of other stuff on radio. But now that I'm in the music realm of radio, I thought this would be a great opportunity, man, to bring you on because not only do we go back like from going on tour, from the comedy tours and stuff like that, but I mean I've just been a big fan of your work ever since we met. And the group that you are the lead vocalist of, Bayonics, is 20 plus years deep in the game, in the music game, in the San Francisco and really just the California music scene in general, man. So tell the people a little bit about the history of Bayonics and how you came to be the head honcho del grande.
Yes,
that you are today.
Absolutely. Well, first, before, thank you for that, man.
Absolutely,
and I got to say, my family, we're huge fans of you, of your work.
Thank you, bro.
And Rudy Ortiz. And super proud and get to hear you on the radio every day. And now that you're in the music realm, you said, I mean, for us, like, my kids and I, when we first heard you, you did a mattress promo, and my wife and I said, we're going to go buy a new mattress.
We got to buy a new mattress.
And we bought a new mattress, because
it worked. It worked.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to tell the sales department, watch this video, man. You need to sell some more Sealy mattresses.
We did it. I'm like, oh, Rudy's sleeping on one. It's got to be great.
Right. No more couches, all mattresses. Yeah.
So it worked out. But no, man, I really appreciate being here. Representing band Bayonics.
Yeah.
We're mission-based. Frisco, we all, over 20 years plus.
Right. How would you describe the style of music? Because I've heard it many times, and I get that, if I may, I get the Latin funk with some ska and some hip hop. I mean, I know it kind of sounds like a lot, but how would you describe the Bayonics sound, the Bayonics vibe?
I mean, it's definitely a Latin reggae vibe, like a California Caribe combo. You know what I mean? Yeah. If we're allowed to say that, it's because we started out doing a whole bunch of stuff. Like, we were a big band.
Yeah.
We did heavy Latin, like funk Latin. We did a lot of, fusion, salsa, timba, reggae, hip hop, R&B, soul. Like, we kind of got into all of it. And then the last decade, we started getting more into like old school, like roots reggae, and then mix it with some dancehall, some demo, like reggaeton and cumbia. And we really just dig into this, sonido de Caribe, like this Caribbean sound that it's done in English and in Spanish. And we're just blessed to be able to have the opportunity to, still be rocking with my crew, with the Bayonics crew. Shout out to the whole band. Because we're pretty excited because, we're on a campaign right now. We just released a new single, and we're feeling good about it.
Yeah, I want to talk about that, man. So, the single that's out right now off of the Levantamiento album, and it's out right now. I'm sure it's on Spotify, Apple iTunes, things of that.
Pandora,
anywhere where you can get good music. You can go check out the current single, which is out right now, which is called Herbsman Connection.
Herbsman Connection.
And tell me a little bit about that single. Like, what can people expect in terms of like the feel for that? Like, I know you described the type of music.
Yeah.
But what is this single? What were you guys shooting for with this single with Herbsman Connection?
So it was definitely a track we were able to put together during the pandemic. It's my man Ivan Garcon and my man Darren Batar. Shout out to my brothers right there. We were able to work remote during the pandemic, during lockdown. And I'd send over a voice memo idea, on bass and beatboxing, and we'd put it all together. And my boys, we'd collab on the remote tip. And
that right there, man, I gotta say though, man, because I mean I've seen you in your element, and I've seen you work, and I've seen you do stuff live in studio, and I've also seen you do stuff remotely. I've been to your house a couple of times working on things with people that are not in the same city.
Yep.
But during the pandemic, man, just describe to everybody what it's like to create music with other people when you're in the middle of a lockdown, because that's not the conventional way that musicians want to collaborate, right?
No, it's not. But for me, it was a jackpot because, like, you know, I'm blind. I'm legally blind, visually impaired, and there, you know, I work at a school.
Yeah.
And you know, when it was on lockdown, I really didn't have opportunity. Like, you know, who wants a blind Zoom instructor? And then I had no gigs. You know, I had no gigs. We couldn't perform.
Yeah.
So I've been working. I you know, I was, you know, helping my kids out, keeping them on point, and then I had my own workstation. I wasn't going to the studio, so I was just staying at the crib. And we stumbled upon this screen sharing remote, like Apple to Apple remote thing. I started hitting up all the like producers that hit me up that I hadn't been able to connect with because we were always playing. And once I started connecting with folks and I started showing them, you know, yo, there's a way. My man B Bravo figured out a way. He lives in LA, Apple to Apple screen share, actually working on a mini doc called Sight for Sound.
Yes, sir.
That's you know, we worked on together.
Right.
And it you know, goes in depth of the whole writing process, but I was still able to make it where you control, like someone is in LA and I give them access to control my computer. You know, some people I trust, obviously.
Of course, yeah.
You know,
can't have rookies on that.
Yeah, no, we gotta have, you know, folks we trust and know what they're doing. I have all the different digital audio workstations on my rig to, like, you know, see what we're working on. And most of the beats, I get producers that always send me beats anyway. So I had MP3s, load them up. And I tried engineering myself, but being legally blind and using the tools, I was just getting flustered as a creative.
Right,
you know,
because the tools consist of the program speaking to you, right? Telling you what it's gonna do.
Exactly.
Because I've seen you work with that before.
Yeah.
And I can imagine if you got so many things going on at once. I mean, I get flustered and I'm looking at the program. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I can imagine when you're trying to navigate through it and you have to deal with the AI talking back to you and you know, probably not getting it done as fast as you want.
Yeah, it's a voiceover screen reader, which is amazing. But to be able to register what the information's coming in and to also be like Mr. Cool, calm, like what I'm about to sing and be creative.
Right.
Having the dichotomy right there is a little challenging.
Right.
And it's adversity, which is cool. But, you know, I caught myself on day 2 going through the tutorials of Pro Tools, like slamming my head on the desk at 3 a.m. I don't want to be an engineer.
I just want to be an artist.
Please.
Oh, man. It's the creative struggle.
The creative struggle. So I got homies that I connected with. My man Sam Lee, he was living in Truckee. He produced pretty much all of Levantamiento.
Yeah.
Bro, him and I met for the first time the weekend before lockdown, that March 2020. We just met through my boy, one of my drummer homies. He's a producer extraordinaire, artist extraordinaire, and we started working on one of our singles, Sigo Firme. That's coming out next week.
Yeah, December 8th.
December 8th,
if I'm not mistaken. Yep. Sigo Firme is the one that's coming out.
Sigo Firme is coming out, produced by my man Sam Lee. And shout out to my co-writers, you know, Mikey Roots, my cousin Manuel Arce, my man Rudy Ortiz.
Whoo! Bet you didn't know that.
Yep.
Bet you didn't know that.
Ta-da! If you didn't know.
Yeah, no, it was honestly, man, like now that you brought that up, like it was a pleasure, obviously, for me to not just help out with that project, but also, you know, the many other songs that we've gotten a chance to write together. I mean, which is really, you know, like part of the excitement that I have about just even doing this video and talking to you here in the KBLX studios. Because I've been able to say, I can say now that I had the opportunity to be a part of that process.
Right.
You know, which is an extraordinary process to sit there and collaborate and write a song
and co-write
together. And I mean, it feels just so dope to know that not only was I part of a dope project, you know, but I can say now, like, man, I'm gonna hear that song on December 8th when it comes out.
Yeah.
Sigo Firme. And tell everybody, you know, for those of you who don't speak Spanish, Sigo Firme, obviously Spanish title, but what is the song about? Like, what was the inspiration behind that song?
Well, we wrote it in English called Bring an Army. And it's about really uniting ourselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a big split and a huge divide in not just in in this country, but in our society,
Right.
where it's being torn. And it's kind of like, we're not trying to go down without a fight. You know what I mean? We want to make sure we're letting folks know that we're here. Black and brown communities are here.
Yes.
You know what I mean? The folks who don't have those same opportunities as other folks, they still count. They have a say.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And it was to bring folks together, let them know that we do come from a place of love, and there's power with numbers and strength.
Yes.
And bring an army, Single Feeder Man, staying strong is kind of the vibe we wanted to put out. And it's we attribute to like the old school 80s roots reggae vibe.
Yeah.
So it's fire. You guys are gonna,
on December 8th, when you guys hear it, I'm telling y'all, man, that's the way that he described it. It definitely has a unification vibe to it, and it definitely is one of those songs where it's like you're gonna sit there and think about what's going on in the world in general. It's one of those songs where it's not just the music, but it's the words too, that I think it is definitely gonna get the message across, man.
No, it's definitely on some, but it's also like they ain't no punks either.
Yeah, right. Don't forget that.
Don't forget that. It's heavy that for sure.
Absolutely, man. So that's going to be coming out December 8th. The album is called Levantamiento. And Levantamiento, I'm sure, is going to be available on Spotify as well.
It'll be out 2024, spring 2024. We're going to release a couple more singles, y'all.
Absolutely, man.
We got to drop some of those hang-ups. You know what I mean? We can't just give it all away.
I mean, come on, man. Single Feeder in the pocketbook, too,
But it is Cyber Week.
Right.
So check out Herbsman Connection. That's out. It featuring my man Issa and my man Ivan Garzon, my brother, and it's a fire track too. So that's out. That was the first one that came out, and now Single Feeder Man coming out next week. We're pretty excited.
Absolutely, Herbsman Connection, Single Feeder Man coming out December 8th. The album is called Levantamiento. Jairo, man, I want to give you an opportunity, man, just as an artist, from one artist to another. I want to give you an opportunity to just kind of speak to maybe the aspiring artists that are out there, man, because I really do believe that what you do is essential, what I mean, for just the human spirit, man, the music that you create, the vibe that you bring to any room you step into. I mean, I was telling everybody before we started the interview, I was like, I want you guys to meet my friend Jairo, you know what I mean?
Sick.
Because you got that vibe and you got that spirit about you at all times, so right. I know there's going to be some artists out there that are listening, Bay Area artists that are up and coming, people trying to make their mark in the game. What advice would you give to a young up and coming artist, or somebody who's thinking about, creating something and giving it to the world?
I mean, off top, for me, like not to circle back with the remote thing that we're talking about, but it unveiled something that I didn't know I really had. I knew it was deep down in there, but it opened up a new way for me how to explore my craft in terms of, I just started freestyling everything. And once I started freestyling everything, for me losing my vision and not being able to write my lyrics down and write what I want to say, to be able to just sing, put together the rhythms and the melodic, riffs that I like on the tape or on the, my workstation. That is where I tell young artists, like, yo, get yourself set up with any ideas you have, even if it's a tape recorder or voice memos. Just lay out your ideas, put yourself out there, because you'll be surprised what's going to come out. Because nowadays, with a lot of folks, people are sheltered. People don't want to speak to one another. People don't want to do this. They want to hide behind, they're going to hide behind their phones. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Literally and figuratively.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But with music, it's going to bring something out of you that's going to allow you to develop and inspire, an energy that you want to nurture, that you want to let out, because it's in everyone. Yeah. It depends on how hard you want to go for it, because a lot of folks, when there's adversities in the mix, folks shut it down. Right. And what I say is, just learn how to pivot, learn how to make a reconfiguration of what you're doing, right, and keep on going. Like, that's why we wrote a lot of songs during the pandemic. I couldn't connect with my homies. I couldn't get in the same room. And that was a lot of folks. Yeah. But I learned how to pivot and rock, almost 6 albums, coming out of there. And you were part of it. And we were able to pivot. And it was a win-win. I got to work with producers who I love, but didn't have to smell them in the same room at the same time. You know what I'm
which
saying?
is a huge, until Zoom comes up with that technology.
Well, you know,
but hopefully that's later on down the road. Man.
I'm just saying, you know, when you got the blind homie in the mix, you know,
hey man,
sense of smell comes out first.
Hey, you know I keep the cool water on deck, bro.
You keep it cool, man.
I keep the cool water on deck, bro.
Man. That's why I respect and that's why I brought you on board.
Right on, man. Because of my good sense, bro. So the album is called Levantamiento.
Yeah.
Again, December 8th, we're coming up where you're coming out with Sigo Firme. And the current single, Herbsman Connection, out there available for everybody. I want to give you the last word, Jairo. You know, thank you again on behalf of, you know, KBLX, myself, obviously. I just loved having you here, bro. I want to give you the final word. If you want to give out whatever information you got, handles, Instagram, anything you want to put out there for the Bay Area and the entire world to tap into, man.
Absolutely, Rudy, my man. You can check us out at Bayonics.com. Go to our website. You'll find all of our information there. You'll get you links to our Instagram, Bayonics415, get you to our Facebook. It'll get you to our TikTok. I don't know what we got on there, but it's up there, you know what I'm saying? And definitely check out our YouTube. Hit subscribe. You know, if you go to our YouTube, we got a lot of videos out. We've been around for, you know, this past couple of decades, always just, you know, staying steady and consistent. And that's what we're trying to be here for Frisco, for the Bay. And so when we get to travel the, you know, country and go to different parts, we want to let them know we represent y'all. We represent KBLX. We represent folks that what we came up with from these streets and what we're about. So we appreciate it, you know?
Absolutely, brother. Well said, man. I appreciate your time, Jairo. You already know, baby boy. I love you, big dog.
I love you
and
too,
you know, we're gonna obviously we're gonna keep on making it happen. And I know you're gonna keep on making it happen with your music and with your talents and just your spirit in general, bro.
Thank you, man. Absolutely, it's a pleasure.
Jairo Vargas, frontman for Bayonics. The album is called Levantamiento. The new single, Sigo Firme, coming out December 8th, and you can currently go and download and check out Herbsman Connection on all music platforms. All right. So thank you again, brother. I appreciate you. Bay Area, make sure to check my man out and make sure to tune in Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m. right here on KBLX Mornings with Fresca and Rudy. Peace.
Yeah. Peace.
This is the Urban Connection.